The new jobs report shows the labor market is cooling off, adding 73,000 jobs in July. That's much worse than expected. The unemployment rate also ticked up to 4.2%, and we got more bad news. The jobs numbers from May and June got a big revision, showing 258,000 fewer jobs than previously reported. ABC News business reporter Alexis Christophorous is here with more on that. Alexis, what does this say about the state of the economy?
Without a doubt, Diane, this is a disappointing jobs report and potentially raising a red flag for the U.S. economy. So let's break down these numbers. You said an addition of 73,000 last month, less than the 100,000 we were expecting, and a lot less than what we've been adding over the past few months. The unemployment rate did tick up to 4.2% from 4.1%. That was largely expected, but it's that revision for the prior 2 months, for May and June, 258,000 fewer jobs added. That means in those 2 months, just 33,000 jobs were added. I think what you're starting to see is businesses are having a hard time planning for the future, expanding payrolls and hiring more people because they simply don't understand what their costs are going to be going forward, in large part because of the tariff policies.
Any specific sectors stick out to you in this report?
There are, and again, they're the same ones, and that's really what's troubling as well, because the job gains month after month are being concentrated in a very narrow few industries. So again, healthcare, social assistance, education, adding the most jobs. Federal government, though, continues to lose jobs, down by about 12,000, potentially showing some of the cuts we saw in federal spending last month.
Now, President Trump is calling Fed Chair Jerome Powell a moron after the Fed kept rates unchanged this week. Could these lower jobs numbers impact how the Fed sees the economy, and could that motivate them to cut rates?
It might. I emailed with a few economists after this report came out. They now tell me they believe a September rate cut is back on the table, possibly an October one as well. Remember, the Fed is grappling with two different narratives here. One is, are the tariff threats causing inflation to move up? They're starting to seep into prices, but they're not pronounced yet for inflation. They also need to keep the unemployment rate low. We're starting to see that move up. We're starting to see hiring slow down. So it's a tightrope that the Fed is walking, and we very well may see a rate cut in the fall.
They now have these lower jobs numbers, but also these new tariffs to take into account.
It's a balancing act for sure.
All right, Alexis, thank you.